Hi guys. So we had some sad news late last night, and so somebody else connected with my office has passed away, and it's actually, if you go in my channel and look at, I think it's like Remembering Clarissa or something like that. It was her daughter. Now, Clarissa worked for me for like 10 years. And she passed away from lung problems. She had cancer young, very young. She was Amerasian. And there's like this certain kind of cancer that Amerasians can get that are specific to Asian people. And she didn't die from that. She died from afterwards. Her lungs were in really bad shape. And so she passed away. Her daughter passed away last night. And the thing about it is that so many we have this little office, right? And so many people have died under our tutelage, or people connected have died under our tutelage. And the truth is that I've watched so many suffer because of the way things are. I mean, they're like lost in a system, and once you get into that system, you can't get out. There's like things set up so that you don't get out, like the judicial system. You know, I used to have this girl that worked for me. She was like a soccer mom. Like, you know, actually her son is going into the Major Leagues Baseball. She was like the biggest annoying, funny a little league mom I've ever dealt with in my life. Like, she was so funny, but she would like have to blow by blow me all the little league games her children were in. It was just like, but she was so proud of them. At any rate, she was locked in the system. She like, if you live in Wilmington, Delaware, we work right on the other side of Wilmington. And if you live there, where it's cheapest to live, really, you can find places pretty cheap there. You pay $500 a month for car insurance. Just for car insurance. Just because it's dangerous there. And if you don't have car insurance, or you let it lapse, then you stop and get a ticket, and then that ticket, because you can't pay it because it's a few $100, plus you have to go get car insurance, that ticket turns into a bench warrant, and then you're jailed. And in Delaware, when they jail you, they don't care who your neighbor is. Like, it could be a murderer you're with, like, and you're a soccer mom, but you don't have any money. And so the level of treatment for people that who are working poor, I mean, this girl worked for me, is so astounding. And then the system is set up in a way that you can never get out of it. You never. I hope you can hear me. My hand might have been. And you really can't get out of it. There's no way out. And so you do this cycle of getting arrested. The more you get arrested, the more they treat you like a criminal. All because you didn't have $500. But you needed a cheaper apartment for you and your kids. It's like, it's so gamed the wrong way. So I was watching, like, what the government's doing with these children on the border. And it's the same thing, really. It's like second-class citizens. They say there's no class system in America, but there's the haves and the have-nots. And you can work, you can not really break the law, but you just don't have any money. And that's it. Like, you're stuck in a system. Their children get taken. I know people with lots of money that shouldn't fucking have kids. They're fine. It's, you know, and then you have to worry about your kids on the street. Your children can't even, like, play in playgrounds. We've had one of our people murdered. Lots of health issues. The stress is enormous. I just know that there's a better way. I might not know what it is, not completely, but there's a better way. You can't confuse this. So this girl that died, Clarissa's daughter, you know, she wanted to be so successful all the time. She used to come in and talk to me about marketing, and she would wear a suit. It's so funny. She had 3 little kids. But when her mom died, by the way, her mom didn't have health care for 18 months after the emergency room had her x-rays that showed she had cancer. They did nothing. They didn't even tell her. And one day, a pulmonologist, I took her to a pulmonologist myself. She literally couldn't walk. She couldn't walk through the parking lot to the pulmonologist's office without stopping. And then we got there, and the pulmonologist pulled out the records like, well, hasn't anybody talked to you about the tumor in your lung? And she's like, what? Like, seriously, they didn't tell her because she didn't have insurance then. And I had just gotten her on Obamacare. That's how we were going to the pulmonologist. I mean, it's just unbelievable what people do. Anyway, oh God, the hair. So we lost one more. Car wrecks, drugs, alcohol. You know, that's all you can do sometimes. The hurt's so big. The hurt's so big. The only thing there is to do is to cover it up with something. So you just don't lay there and feel it all the time. Fear is like the #1 thing that people cover up with drugs and alcohol. And you take a gamble. And some people win and some people lose, but people without money lose a whole lot more. It's just a sad moment. A sad commentary. The next time you're like digging in your pockets to help some third world country that needs help, just remember there's people here too that need help. I wish I could just like go down to the border and grab a few of the kids. I've got the money. I've got the room. I don't think they'd let me have them. As a whole, our nation is better than what we're doing right now. On all ends. It's not like, oh, well, you want to help the border people, but, you know, we have people here that need help. Those aren't self-limiting. You can do both. And we lost somebody today. One more. So senseless. We need to do better.